Rising Voices is a writing and performance internship program for formerly incarcerated women, age 18 to 24. Each cycle of Rising Voices, we create an original theater piece based on things that are going on in the women's life. The last couple of projects that we've done have been more monologue projects, storytelling, personal storytelling. This new project that we're doing is a series of short plays. So each of the women has written a short play, and then they are performing in each other's production. What inspired the piece that we're working on now, A Way Out, is a series of short plays. When I was in New York, I worked with several theater companies who did this frequently. They do short play festivals and get as many writers and performers as involved as possible and put on, an evening of theater based on a theme. So I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that would be an interesting thing to do with Rising Voices. And I teach a creative writing class in the jail, and had sort of run out of ideas. And my background, of course, is more in theater than in writing. So coming up with poetry or whatever, I'm not super versed in. Plays and theater, I am. So I needed a lesson plan one day, and I just downloaded a 10-minute play and brought it in and said, "Great, let's try this." And the women started writing such incredible pieces of theater. It was alive, and the language, the dialect, the way they write, exactly the way they speak, because they're not writers. They're not in their heads, and they're not trying to come up with the right punctuation and the right whatever word, was just really alive. And I thought that would be a great project to do with Rising Voices. So we started this project. When we first began this project, I didn't exactly have an idea of a theme. I just knew that I wanted to do 10-minute plays. And in the beginning, when we start a new cycle, we always bring new women in, because we lose people throughout the process of a cycle of Rising Voices. They get jobs, or they move away, or whatnot. So in bringing in new women, we always have to go through a process at the beginning of creating a safe space, getting the women to all mesh together well, and creating a really tight-knit ensemble. And so it's always made up of sort of older people who've been around for a while and new people. And in the process of that, we do a lot of exercises and some writing exercises and theater games that are, self-revealing, and always start each class with a check-in. So I give the women an opportunity to talk about where they are and what's going on with them, because oftentimes they have a lot going on and need a space to be able to bounce it off of other people, or just vent and get it off their chests. So in that process, in addition to allowing them to have a space to just get off their chest what's going on, I'm also looking for themes that might keep reoccurring, or things that are going on for each of the women. And so in the beginning process, we had just finished this one project that was really restorative justice based, and I felt like the thing that kept coming up for a lot of people was this sort of cycle that they were stuck in, or the things that were really holding them back from taking the next step. Especially after, like I said, coming off of Found, which was just this profound, I think, experience for a lot of people. Not only the audience who saw it, but the performers. And after one of the performances, I said to them, you need to make sure that, I hope you make sure that you're living your life in such a way that you don't come and have this performance that blows people away. I mean, moves people and rocks people to their core, and then you go out and you're hanging on the block and doing the same thing you were doing before, and living your life as a hypocrite, because that can't feel good. And that's not what this program is about. And so in these discussions about that, about how to basically live the life that you are preaching about, or that you're sharing in these performances. Like I said, the themes that kept coming up for a lot of people were the things that were holding them down, the things that were making it difficult for them to rise in their lives and move forward, the reason why they were teetering in between, the life and a better life. And so we came up with, just in brainstorms, the idea of breaking away. What are you breaking away from? And what are things that people break away from? And in specific, what are things that you are breaking away from? And then through that process, and in discussion, with other people about the project that we were working on, there was somebody read an article about people going through a similar thing, and a way out was something that was said to me, and I thought that was a great sounding title and sort of encompassed everything that we had been working on. So a couple of the pieces are more autobiographical, where the women are really dealing with stuff that they are actually dealing with in their lives, and then one of the pieces is really fictional, and it comes from just somebody really trying to break away from something, and somebody trying to get away out of their life of an abusive, with an abusive father, and trying to break away from that. So that's where the themes came out of the women and what the women are going through.